we are going to go over how to set up the radiology unit if we did have radiographs for our patient. So this is the whole unit itself. It is like a charging station, so everything sits in it. There is a little switch on the right side of it that we usually flip on once we know we have radiographs. That way things can just charge and nothing has a low battery before we take them. So usually we'll switch that on maybe like an hour or two before the appointment or at the beginning of the day. The next part I will show you, we'll take out our plate. So this is the plate for the radiographs that we have the patients lay on or stand in front of to take the images. We do have to put the battery pack in it. So if you flip it over, both of these slide in. You will then be able to remove the inside of the plate where we will put the battery. If you open up this little section, you'll be able to see where it goes. We do keep each of the batteries in this slot over here. We always grab the front one out because that'll be the one that has been charging the longest. So we'll take this guy out and then I just go ahead and switch them. That way we know which one's the older one versus which one's the new one. Make sure you get it in there correctly. And it should close fine once it's in there properly. So go ahead and switch the back one to the front so it can start charging. And then we'll go ahead and slide this guy in here. It should click in all the way to where this silver piece comes over it. That's how you know you'll have it in correctly. And then you just close it. And then it does have a power button on the side. So if you hold it down, it'll start to beep. It should be registering. Once everything comes on, there will be more lights that show up. And then the important thing when you're putting it back into the case itself, just remember clover pretty much to clover, which is on the other side. And then making sure your buttons are obviously on the right side. So it'll slide in like that, and then you're good just to put the back piece back onto it, clip it in, and the plate is ready at this point. Our next piece of equipment that we'll go to is the radiology unit itself. It is a little bit heavy, but I'll show you once you take it out. This tablet on top does pop out, so if you press this little silver button on the side, it'll pop it out for you. That'll open up the inside unit. If you just press the power button, everything will start to calibrate on this end. And then as far as turning on the tablet, there is a side button that you can just click and hold, and you'll get this little reading. It does take a second for everything to kind of get its whereabouts. And I'll show you once this turns on. You do have to put a radiology request in through EasyVet based on what body part you're taking pictures of, and then that will send and connect directly to this unit. So just for an example, say we put in a patient, just for example, like spinal radiographs. Once this pulls up, it will, in just a second. It's taking way longer than that. Okay, perfect. So this is your home screen. Like I mentioned, say we put in a request for radiographs, it'll pop up down here. So we'll just click this one to open it. Usually you can just double click. Okay, let's double click this one. Okay, it is loading, but if we hadn't previously gone into this study, it would ask you, are you sure you want to start this study? Press yes, and then it'll open up essentially your study. This one is just taking a little bit longer. Okay, probably because we've already done a study with this patient, but then it'll open up to your blank screen. You then press this dog in the bottom left corner. It'll give you all of the body parts to select from. So say we're doing leg, you can pick stifle, femur, hip joint, any of those that may apply to the images you're taking. Once you do that, select your part in the view you're taking, so lateral, AP, DP, VD, any of that. It'll connect with this system and then let you know that it's ready to take x-rays. We do always drop our KV by 10 and then our MAS by half of what it is. These numbers aren't going to be the same anytime you or every time you take radiographs, so dependent on the body part, this number will change and this number will change. But just always remember, drop the KV by 10 and this by half, and then you'll be ready to shoot the radiographs.